crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RoadPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Bronco Nation? This is not the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show. My name is BJ Rains, and this is Bronco Nation News. It is Wednesday. We're going to have Winston Venable joining us shortly to talk football as we get set for senior night. We had a Boise State basketball win last night as well. So how you doing? Happy morning. Didn't sleep much last night. Not sure if you all got a good night's sleep or not, but at least we have a victory to talk about for Boise State, 62-59. Again, my name is BJ Rains. This is Bronco Nation News Live. We do it each and every morning at 9 a.m. talking Boise State sports. And we always appreciate everybody that wakes up with us every morning or watches this on delay or tape or whenever you get a chance to watch this. But we appreciate all of you. Hopefully you also check out our website, bronconationnews.com, and all of our great sponsors, some of which you see on the screen. Of course, our title sponsor, Andy Rowe, rowpaint.com. All your painting needs. Get 20% off those winter painting projects right now from our title sponsor, Andy Rowe, and rowpaint.com. As I said, the football team gearing up for senior day against Colorado State. We'll talk to some players today. We talked to Latrell Caples and Mason Randolph yesterday. Those interviews are up on the BNN YouTube channel. We will talk to our man Winston Venable, Wednesdays with Winston, coming up here in about 10 minutes or so as we talk Boise State football for a good majority of the show as we get you set for Saturday's game against Colorado State and what the Broncos can do to try to still make something of the season here today. But for the first little bit, I wanted to talk basketball in that game last night. 62-59, the final. The Broncos had to hang on late. They're up by as many as 15 points there in the first half. Or excuse me, the second half, first part of the second half. But Wichita State with a late run. Boise State missed some free throws, had a shot clock violation. Good morning, Jeff. But just unable to, pull away and win by the big margin. But you know what? They won. And there's some teams in the Mountain West last night that didn't do that. San Diego State, how do you think they're feeling this morning? They lost in double overtime to Troy, and Troy was lower on the KenPom rankings than Wichita State was. San Diego State loses a bye game to Troy last night in double overtime. Nevada losing a second straight game, and they lose at home to UC Davis. So a lot of teams in the Mountain West have had bad losses. Boise State had that one early in the season, obviously. At this point, yeah, you're going to want some style points. You're going to need some of those, but frankly, so much of the season left and so many opportunities. You've got to just get that win in your back pocket and move on any way you can. And so was it the prettiest final couple of minutes? No, it wasn't. But Boise State hangs on, gets the win by 3 points, and they're going to have a nice win there in the back of their pocket because I think that's a decent team. And it actually moved Wichita State up 6 spots in the rankings last night by Boise State winning the game, but not winning it by as many as they were supposed to. Wichita State is now 92nd at KenPom. So there was a lot of, talk about got to win by 8. And that's what I was saying. You love to win by double digits. And that didn't happen. And yeah, the KenPom numbers, just the way the system works. Boise State after the Utah State game was sitting at, 46th, I think it was. And they're 45th going into the Montana game. You only win that game by 4. You only win this game by 3. And you drop, 17 spots all the way down to 62 in the KenPom rankings. But you're going to have a lot of opportunities moving forward here. I mean, you're only projected to lose by 6 to USC and some other games in the Maui Invitational. I mean, if they take care of business, they're going to get all the style points and numbers and things that they want to do. But I mean, that was a fun game last night. Some ugly start. Excuse me, ugly start. Couldn't make a shot. You're lucky you're only down 7 if you're Boise State at that point. And then the shots start falling. They had the 4 consecutive 3-pointers. They continued to move the ball well. And as I said, overall, just ended up being a nice win that I think you're going to be, later in the season, look up and go, oh, that Wichita State win, that's aging nicely. Because I do think that's a team that has a chance to, really do something in the AAC there, or at least be a contender. Because you look at Wichita State's schedule, and there's a lot of games on there they're projected to win on the KenPom. So I think it's a chance for that to be a really nice win. And you look at this schedule here, Boise State's played. I mean, it's pretty impressive so far. Only one team outside the top 200, and that's Montana State, who's 209. And there's not another one of those left until you get down to Air Force. The only quote-unquote easy game for Boise State the rest of the season is going to be Air Force whenever you play them. They're 325th at KenPom. Every other projection this season is it within 10-point game. Duquesne is even decent this year. We mentioned St. Mary's, Butler, obviously the tournament, USC, and then either NC State or Seton Hall. There's some good teams in there. But this is what I would have to do a little bit of research on, but this might, from top to bottom, might be the hardest, toughest, best non-conference schedule that Boise State has played under Leon Rice, because maybe you don't have that top 10, Creighton team on the schedule right now, or that top 10 Michigan State team, or they played Arizona when they were really good. They played at Kentucky, one year, but from top to bottom, when the worst teams you're playing is a 209 Montana State, and even Utah Valley's 128, Rio Grande's 180. I mean, they've had years where they played 5 or 6 teams who are like in the 300s. So even your quote unquote bye games, the easy games, are, competitive teams. I think top to bottom, the Boise State computer rankings, I think, are going to end up being in a pretty good spot, because these are some pretty good teams they're playing from start to finish. And last night, there was a lot to like. The defense certainly is where you got to start. You hold Wichita State to just 4 of 15 from 3-point range. And certainly that was, a big talking point coming into the game. They made 16 threes in their last game. Boise State holds them to 4 of 15. I thought the defense was tremendous. You hold them overall to 37.5% shooting from the field. So the defense now up to number 32 at KenPom. So I think the defense is a really, really strong sign to see the way that it's moving forward. Offensively, another game where you just missed some wide open shots early, started hitting some shots, but still they only shoot 37% from the field. I really do think this team is going to be a good offensive team. You saw the way they moved the ball. You saw the way they, had some nice assists last night, and they just didn't hit some open shots, which I think are going to fall. So when you can win 2 games in a row while shooting less than 40% from the field, I think that is just a massive accomplishment moving forward here for this team. And so, Drew Fielder, 17 points, thought he was very aggressive. Liked what I saw from him, 7 of 13 from the field, 15 points from Andrew Meadow. He was 3 of 5 from 3-point range. Dylan Andrews, 10 points, was 5 of 6 from the foul line. Boise State did miss a couple of free throws. And if you're looking for one kind of, down thing, it's that they couldn't close that game out. You're up 15 points midway through the second half. You really would have liked to have at least won by 15 or double digits, or even pushed it to 20 if you could, but you're up 9 with about 90 seconds to go, and they let them kind of come back in the game and have a chance at a final shot there at the end of the game, a 3-pointer at the buzzer that misses. And if that shot were to have gone in, you would have gone to overtime. You were not expecting that kind of finish at the game, but you got to like the depth. I mean, Pearson Carmichael is going to get going, folks. He's a quality player. He'd be a starter on a lot of Mountain West teams, and he only played 3 minutes and 38 seconds last night. They're just trying to find spots for him. He's obviously in a little bit of a slump right now. There was a loose ball that I don't think he dove for, and it didn't look like maybe that sat well with the coaches. I'm not sure exactly, why he didn't play as much, but other guys deserved the minutes last night. Julian Bowie had his best game of the season, 11 minutes. He hit 2 shots, had a big 3-pointer, had a nice assist as well, and so it was nice to see Julian Bowie getting going. But Nato played 21 minutes as a guard. Aarons played 10 minutes. Dominic Parolin, love you, dude, but you got to make some of those bunnies. He was only 1 of 7 from the field, and I thought he missed a couple easy ones right there by the rim. But overall, he's a physical player. I thought he gave pretty good minutes, had 5 rebounds, plays pretty good defense, but he's got to make those little bunnies right there at the rim. But, Keene gives you 22 minutes, and Dylan Andrews, 7 assists, only 2 turnovers, finishes with 10 points as well. He looks like he's continuing to kind of fit in with the Boise State offense here. And then, Buchanan, 7 points, did miss a couple of free throws there late, but obviously I think it was 9 of 10 from the foul line in the Montana State game. So obviously he's still continuing his ascension this year. But then you had, as I said, Fielder and Meadow. But I mean, you had 10 guys that played last night and 9 that played at least, 10 minutes in a close game. And so I think the depth of Boise State is really going to be something that we're going to be talking about for a long time here. I think that, Maui next week, 3 games in 3 days, when you can play 9, 10 guys, that's going to be a huge benefit for Boise State in this tournament, to be able to have multiple guys that can play and that you feel pretty good about out there, because Boise State goes 10 deep right now, and all 10, when they're on the court, you're not like, oh, get this guy out of there. I mean, I think all of them deserve to be on the court and are fun to watch. And overall, the team is moving in the right direction. I know the last 2 games have not been maybe the most prettiest wins of all time, but when you can go 10 deep out there, and like I said, after that first game, if we go back and watch the show the next morning, there's a long way to go. They're not an at-large team yet. They've got to go get some wins. Everything's not, all in well. You don't just forget about that game, but to have that horrible loss and then to rebound with 4 straight wins and be 4-1 going to Maui, again, I know it's not as bad of a loss as San Diego State, but they lost to Troy last night in double overtime at home. That's a bad loss. Nevada losing to UC Davis, New Mexico losing to New Mexico State. You go down the line with all these teams in the Mountain West, and other than like a Utah State and maybe a Colorado State, I don't think any of most of the teams in the league already have a bad loss. And so again, none will be worse than a Division II team. I understand that. I get that. It will stick with Boise State all season, but the season was not over after one game. There are 31 games on the schedule for a reason. And if Boise State can win enough other games to where they're not right there on the bubble, then that game won't matter as much. And so to this point, they're moving in the right direction. They're not there. They're certainly not there, but I think they're going to be a fun team to watch all season. I mean, if you're a Boise State fan, I think you'd be fired up on Monday at 3:00 to find a way to turn on the Maui Invitational and watch Boise State play USC and some of these other games. Moving forward, I think this is a fun team to watch. They've got exciting players. Leon, don't forget, you guys know this as fans. Traits of Leon Rice teams as they get better as the season goes on. They always have an early season bad loss or something, and they keep getting better and keep winning games. And here they are, 4 in a row at this point for Boise State, and they're going to be 4-1. We're going to see if this works with our man Winston Venable. He's not sure if it's going to work yet. We'll take a shot here. Winston, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I got you, BJ. I had to go to the phone, man. So we're doing things from the house, from the phone. Little Wednesday action for you, man. Rough night with the kiddos, man. They were up late. It's just a lot going on this Wednesday, but I'm happy it's game week, baby.
Yep. We appreciate you for joining us. We've been talking basketball here, and I'm just going to wrap that up by saying, hey, 4 in a row. Nice win last night against Wichita State, and we'll have plenty of coverage getting ready for Maui next week. Now, Winston, I don't know if you saw yesterday's show at all or saw our broadcast last night or had any idea kind of what we were doing, but Jay Tuss was on yesterday, and he told us he was going to be calling the game for the Mountain West Network last night on the feed. He was doing the play-by-play, and we had to deal with creator sports content in the Mountain West where they actually let me kind of pull in the broadcast and air the broadcast on BNN. So I said, we need to have a little fun with this, Jay. So we asked fans in the chat yesterday, let's come up with a couple words and let's see if Jay Tuss can kind of sneak those into the broadcast tonight. And once the list got pretty long, I said, you know what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to donate $20 to the charity of Jay Tuss' choice. He could choose any charity he wants. And I said, I'll donate $20 for every word that Jay Tuss could get into the broadcast from the list. And, Jay's a professional, much more of a professional than me. You're calling the game on the Mountain West Network. I thought, you know what, maybe he'll sneak 2 or 3 in, but he's a pro here. He's not going to go for our antics or our games. And it started off a little slow. I gave him the list. It started off a little slow. I think he had 2 of them in the first half, but once the second half got rolling, he got into a rhythm there. And let's just say it cost me some money for charity. I think we got 13 words from the list into the broadcast last night, $260. I said, I'm going to round it up to 300. I'm going to put the full video together, but here is just a very short 45-second sample. We hit 2 words on one clip. We hit Maserati and beast mode. We somehow hit spicy little biscuit. And then we hit cornucopia. Here's 4 of our words, Jay Tuss last night on the broadcast.
The 3 from the corner misses, and it's finally Andrews that corrals it. A no-look pass to Meadow, like a Maserati, driving in, going beast mode, and 1 for Andrew Meadow. 19 occasions where they've had a double-digit guy, in terms of their scoring efforts. They spread the wealth, and I tell you, it's been a spicy little biscuit the way they've been popping that thing around tonight, Angela.
Yeah, 12 assists on 18 field goals made. Coach Rice preaches, pass up a good shot in order to get your teammate a great shot, and that has been on display. And have so many players on this roster that have the ability to score.
A cornucopia of offense for Boise State this year. On any given night, it really feels like they got 7 different scores.
Nothing beats the I want to play the very first one again because 2 for 1. We got beast mode and we got Maserati on the same play here.
Andrews that corrals it. A no-look pass to Meadow, like a Maserati, driving in, going beast mode, and 1 for Andrew Meadow.
That's very skillful. I wonder if Angela at the biscuit one, is she looking over to Jay like, what did you just say, man? Was she aware?
Apparently, I haven't been able to watch the full game yet, but apparently he let her in pregame on what he was going to try to do. And apparently she actually got 2 of them in. Apparently at one point she got in herself. So she even joined in and got a couple of the words in. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that. If anybody knows when the tomfoolery one was said, I want to try to edit that one out. But I was listening. I just got home late, didn't have time to make the whole video, but 13 of them. We're going to pick a local charity. If anybody else wants to donate, because we had a lot of fun last night during the game and on the chat, whenever Jay would get one, the whole chat was going crazy. Oh, there we go. Another one. Chop it up. And I thought the iPad one was pretty funny as well, because kind of a subtle one, because as we talk football here, all the coaches were talking Monday, Winston, about how they got to do a better job, in game, looking at the iPads and making some adjustments. And so somebody said iPad was yesterday a word they wanted to suggest to sneak in there. And there was like a weird pause, and then Jay goes, "Sorry about that. I was looking out at the stats on my iPad." And then Angela said, "Yeah, same here," because she knew about that one too. So fun time last night. I tip of the cap to Jay Tuss for playing ball. I did feel like later in the game, though, he was just he was getting into his bag, as they say. He got a rhythm going, and every time they came out of a timeout, he had 1 or 2 of them just to go through. And he told me they were short on time, but there was 4, I guess, that he didn't get to. And I guess his plan was to just hand the list to Drew Fielder when they interviewed him post-game and have him read off the ones he didn't say. But we got 13. We're going to round up to $300. If anybody else enjoyed it and wants to help, right before the second half started, tomfoolery. Okay, I think I missed that one because we were still on the broadcast there. So, Angela even got into.
Is that Jay's first and last time doing this broadcast?
Probably so, yeah.
Or he's just one of the most creative guys, and it just upped his resume there, and he's going to go full time here soon.
And the way he snuck him in there for the most part, I don't think if you knew, you would. I think you just would think he was, I think he did a pretty good job of mixing them in where you didn't think there was like something weird going on. Although on the, I think the spicy little biscuit, I heard one of the producers kind of was like, okay, what's going on here? Great job. He played ball. We raised some money for charity. We had some fun, and
that's awesome, man.
And that was fun. So we'll get the full edit together in the next couple of days and get that out there, and then let you know what charity Jay has picked for and raise some money. But fun night last night, fun win for the basketball team, and they will now get ready to go to Maui Invitational starting on Monday for the basketball team. But Winston, I want to thank a couple sponsors real quick, and we'll talk some football with you. We appreciate you for jumping on. Our title sponsor is Andy Rowe and RowPaint.com. There would be no BNN without Andy Rowe and RowPaint.com. So right now, folks, they're offering 20% off their painting projects. Make sure you hit up Andy Rowe and Company, 20% off the winter painting projects if you mention BNN, and that's RowPaint.com. Concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, all your painting needs. Get that 20% off at rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union. Love seeing their logo, even though they got that big green logo right there inside Extra Mile Arena, and I love it. Good to see ICCU back on board as a sponsor at Boise State, and they've got 7 NIL deals. They're a partner with Learfield again, so they're stepping up in a big way, folks. You can return the favor, make the switch to ICCU today. I've done it. Prater's done it. Tuss has done it. Everybody's loving ICCU, and I promise you, it's the easiest online mobile banking you'll ever deal with. Make the switch, ICCU.com. When the Broncos score 83 points at a home game, you get a free taco at Taco Bell. You just show your ticket stub the next day for a free taco at a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location when the Broncos score 83 points. While you're there, you can check out the crispy chicken strips and a lot of the other great options. Check out the local Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations, SON Management Group, the Nicolason family's website today at TacoBellWorks.com. Hey, Jackson's, we appreciate them. 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night at Jackson's. And tonight, we're going to have the Riley and Ridge Show. Your boy T. Crow, Winston Venable, is going to be filling in tonight as the special guest live at the James Kitchen and Bar at 7:30. We may even need Winston Venable to make an appearance or something. I don't know. Tyler Crow tonight in person, Riley and Rid talking BSU, telling some stories. You don't want to miss Tyler Crow tonight, 7:30, Riley and Ridge show. That'll be live at the James Kitchen and Bar if you want to come meet Tyler Crow tonight. And then 8:30 will be Sanford and Johnny with Ball Talk coming up afterwards. So 2 local shows tonight, but Jackson sponsors Riley and Rid, and we appreciate them for that. And I saw Travis Hawks at the game last night. Blue and Orange store. You can order Boise State gear anywhere in the world. You want that Max Cutforth jersey? They can customize it for you in minutes there at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location. 4,000 plus hats on the hat wall, and you can order anywhere in the world online at theblueandorangestore.com. The Blue and Orange store, the best selection, the best prices, theblueandorangestore.com. All right, Winston, we've been diving into it. Obviously not good the last couple of weeks. Offense, I know it was raining. They were without 5 starters. I mean, it wasn't great. 7 points. I mean, you've obviously played defense, but you've coached offense, and you've been following this program for a long time. I mean, this is 4 games now with 7 points. I mean, this is discussions that no show like mine has ever had about Boise State football scoring 7 points in back-to-back games, because it's never happened in the FBS era. Struggling to score, struggling to move the ball. It's just not pretty to watch right now. And I guess just generally, let's go back first just to the San Diego State game. Just what were your takeaways from that game? The amount of runs they had, not passing the ball very much, and it was an ugly game with the weather and everything else, but just a deflating loss that kind of makes things tough here for the championship with 2 games to go.
Yeah, I think that was a real tough one, man. I know that a lot of the guys, California guys, eager and excited to go out there and play, and obviously wish the weather was better. And I think, I've watched the pressers and hear the coaches talk, and I do, I've been a part of football games, been a part of weather games, and it does limit you a little bit. Always on the defensive side, you could have that mentality that, hey, they're gonna try to run the ball because they can't throw it as much because of the weather conditions. So that's the beauty of playing defense and being a defensive guy. You don't have to deal with that type of stuff. But on the other side, the elements do play a factor. I think they were limited from the game plan and quarterback position. So, as much as they want to go out there and run the rock and establish what they've been talking about establishing the whole year, being a run first, heavy run offense. I mean, there was an opportunity to go out there and show that and prove that. They fell short a little bit, but BJ, at the same time, man, like, that's why you practice those things. You practice with wet balls and all that, because when it comes down to it, you still got to be able to chuck it a little bit if you can. You're going to be in situations, no matter what the weather is, that it could be 3rd and 20, and does that mean you're going to hand the ball off? No, you got to figure out ways to get a dry ball out there, as dry as possible, and you got to practice those things to be able to handle the conditions. So did think they were a little limited out there and fell short, man. It was really unfortunate.
We heard a lot about, in-game adjustments, and that needs to be better, and stuff that they're seeing, on Sunday. Why are they not seeing that during the game? I mean, what's that conversation like as a running backs coach? I mean, you're the running backs coach on the sideline. You've been there. You got the headset on. You're seeing stuff happening out there. Coaches are talking on the headsets. What's that conversation in-game like? And I don't think you ever had the iPad, the ability to kind of look at the plays on the iPads during the game. Now they can do that. But what are you seeing, or just what was your experience in terms of the in-game adjustments? And you go in with a game plan, obviously, of what you want to do, but it just seemed like the game plan really they didn't want to let Max Cutforth throw very much. They wanted to keep him safe and not put him in any tough spots. And there was some 3rd and 4s where they're still running it. And there was a 3rd and 15 where they ran a draw up the middle. There was a 3rd and 3 where they brought in Sherrod, and I'll give him credit. It was a play we haven't seen much, a pitch, but it just didn't work on 3rd and 3. But just when you have your game plan and then versus what you're seeing and having to adjust, what's that like as coaches on the sideline at halftime, in game, all that stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, just holistically, what you're talking about, and this isn't Boise State coaches, this isn't anybody in particular, but I think the elite coaches, the guys that can put their players in the best position, are like really good at in-game adjustments. And whether that's the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, like whoever's got eyes on and paying attention to certain schemes, certain fronts, and then being able to go back to the idea of, drawing plays in the sand. You have to be able to do that at an elite level. And once again, this is not Boise State, but there's some staffs or coaches that are really, really good at that in-game adjustments. And I think those guys are, separators when it comes to the coaching realm, man, because it's just so important. You plan. You have all these weeks of studying a team, but then they're going to come out in something different. I mean, there's always the idea of, well, they know what we're good at. They see tendencies. So if they come out, or anybody, offense, defense, comes out and does something different, well, is that D coordinator, linebacker coach, whoever, making those in-game adjustments to say, hey, we need to go down to a 3-down front. Let's drop down to safety, like whatever it may be to, get on the attack or battle against what you're seeing out there. Super important. So as the running backs coach, man, I try to do a lot of not getting in these guys' ways. Some simple coaching points. I'm more listening to, what the offensive coordinator, what everybody's seeing, what we may be doing moving forward, and then going and messaging that information to the guys, really making sure they're not thinking too much. And there's a whole lot less thinking out there in the running backs position. So not as detailed with the in-game adjustments, more or less just some small coaching points. But as I said, the elite guys do a really good job at that.
Whether it was when you were a player or when you were back coaching, like who are some of those elite guys that you've been around or you've seen?
Well, I mean, obviously like Harsin and Avalos. I mean, these guys are some of the best defensive and offensive minds, in college football. So, I mean, I was from an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator standpoint, just knowing how those guys operate and function. I mean, those guys are elite in their respective jobs there. And then just professionally, I've had a couple great coaches that, I think you really see that take off to the next level. Noel Thorpe up in Canada. I had a couple good coaches that were pretty good at it, man.
What Winston Venable, our guest, former Boise State linebacker, a coach as well. And we always love Winston's unique perspective because you played defense and you coached offense. So you've seen it from both sides, Winston. What's it just like as an alum, man? And, just to see 6-4 here, not the season that everybody expected, but all 4 losses, only scoring 7 points. And we're having, like I said, I'm looking back into the record book and the pages I've never had to look back to for fewest passing yards and all this kind of stuff. I mean, what's just what's kind of your take on where things are at and where things kind of went south a little bit? I know a big talk is the quarterback situation with Maddox getting hurt and, what that room needs to look like moving forward in terms of depth and competition there. But how do you just kind of big picture look at where they're at 6-4?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. I'm BJ. I'm like I've told everybody here, I'm Bronco to the core, man. I think I bleed blue, just as much as anybody out there in this world, man. So very passionate, very prideful of the program. I love the program, love the coaches, love the players, especially, and just some of that, gets me fired up because I probably have to, let some emotions down a little bit and let some things go because I do get fired up. I do get passionate about those guys, but it comes from a good place, right? I want those guys to have an elite experience. And I just had such a great time as a Bronco, man. And that's where it all stems from, that I want guys to have the best experience possible because I was on cloud freaking 9 the whole time. And it hurts my heart that those guys aren't necessarily having that experience. So it's tough, BJ, really tough to, if you're a coach or you're a player, you can't listen to the noise, man. You can't watch press conferences of other coaches, but I watched that press conference with the coach talking about, bullying us. I mean, that doesn't sit well, like stuff like that doesn't sit well at all. I mean, that's like, should never be the case. Win, lose, anything, never letting another person feel like they bullied the Broncos. So that pissed me off. But at the same time, BJ, like there's been some games out there that, you don't really like what you're seeing as far as the effort, the aggression, the mentality. I didn't necessarily feel that last game. I thought it was just an interesting kind of weird game to watch, just with all the running. But sure, there was some penalties, all that type of stuff. But they went out there and they played passionate. They played hard. They played, to the end of the game. So you can chalk that up, man. Those guys are they're doing their thing, man. I support them, love them. Freaking. It's tough, bro. But, hey, I also believe, BJ, that Boise State is in a bit of a rebuilding, laying down a new foundation for the new era of college football. And it's kind of like, man, some of this stuff makes sense from the NIL standpoint to just how they're navigating rosters and what they're up against other schools. So I don't know, man. Like, I think, going to the college football playoff and winning the Mountain West, sure, that's awesome. But we also have to understand that it's a new era, and Boise State financially is not where I know they want to be. That affects the talent, the players, the coaches. It affects everything. So we kind of just got to let this thing, I've said it before, let this thing build a little bit and give the Boise State Broncos some time to see what they're going to be in this new era.
Now, I obviously, Winston, have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm watching plays and stuff, and I haven't played the game like you or any of these coaches, and it looks much easier from the press box. I understand that. I get that. So I'll preface this by saying this is an uneducated, don't know what I'm talking about view of what I saw, but it looked like a lot of just very similar basic running plays, and it just didn't seem like there was a lot of creativity in terms of we saw no plays, no sets with two backs out there together. We saw no wildcat. I mentioned we saw the one pitch. Sire bounced a couple of his outside, but it seemed like a lot of just very simple running plays. And when you go into a game, and that was kind of my, I don't know if beef's the right word, but my frustration, I guess, with what I was watching was you knew going into the game that you were going to be super run heavy, and then it didn't seem like you really tried to get creative with the runs that you were calling. Someone told me, a booster friend, texted me during the game and said it looked like they found out 10 minutes before the game that they were starting their third string quarterback. And like, they didn't really have much of a plan, except not to let him throw. And I don't know if I quite go that far, but like in general, how many running plays do you go into a game with typically? How many? I know it all looks the same, and I know duo and power and all this stuff's not the same. I understand that the blocking schemes are all different, but what do you make in terms of the creativity on offense? And if you're going to run the ball, whether it's more fly sweep, we saw one fly sweep, I think, with Cam Bates. Am I crazy for thinking that? Or what do you think in terms of just if you're going to run the ball, why not maybe try to have some different types of runs in there?
Yeah, no, BJ, I agree, man. Like, having creativity always helps. It's not only fun, but, gives you options, have some creativity. I will also say, BJ, I'm old school, man. I'm old school, dude. I'm the type of guy and have been in this program. And if you want to say, hey, here's our effing playbook, we're going to run 3 plays, stop us. I'm a defensive guy with that type of mentality. So you want to keep things vanilla, mano y mano, your best versus our best. We're going to beat you, and we're only going to run 5 plays. Then go out there and get the job done. So, I mean, obviously that didn't happen, but that's a strategy and a mentality that can also be effective and go win. Now, it's I'm joking around a little bit here, but sometimes less is more. I think they're in a situation with their quarterback where they kept things vanilla, man, and they didn't want to risk throwing the ball. There was weather conditions, so they felt like running it. Yeah, man, let's get 2 backs on there. Let's get some let's get some wildcat. Hey, when you got wildcat in there, guess what, though, BJ? You're probably really not throwing the ball there. So there's not even the threat of that, right?
And I get it. It's raining, more handoffs, zone read, all that stuff's tougher in the rain. I get it.
Yeah, so less exchanges with the ball, less to deal with. And I think that's just where they were at with this game. And you know what, man? If the Broncos had the mentality of we're going to keep it real simple and just go beat these guys, I love it, man. I love it. And if they wanted to not have that big of a playbook going in or a game plan, love it, because that tells me the mentality is we're going to go out there and get it done. Now, did they? No, but that's all right,
Yeah. Well, speaking of mentality, as a former linebacker, I'm sure that didn't sit well with you to see San Diego State get 277 rushing yards in that game. What are you seeing from the linebackers? What are you seeing from the rush defense? I mean, they only gave up 19 passing yards, I think, or something like that. In the last 2 games combined, they've given up 52 passing yards combined in 2 games, and they're 0-2. I know part of that's because of the offensive struggles, but 277 rushing yards given up, and just some key, runs and just missed tackles, and they'd give up 7 or 8 yards on first down a lot. Just when you saw the game and then the stats, 277 rushing yards allowed as a former star defensive player on this team, that couldn't sit well with you either.
Yeah, no, that's tough, man. And I think, like I kind of mentioned about this game earlier, it wasn't the same frustration from a former Bronco, or to my eye, where maybe in the beginning of the year you didn't see the mentality and the effort and the aggressiveness that you wish you saw out there, and that's frustrating. This game, once again, I don't think that was really the case. Guys looked like they were having fun and they're excited and they're playing with passion. So I think it just goes back more to the tackling and getting guys in the right positions, guys getting themselves in the right positions. And from a schematic standpoint, they're having the right fit from the defensive line, not getting knocked off the ball, because everything affects each other, right? So, if the D line is not getting their job done and they're not staying in gaps, makes it tough for the linebackers. And then you're a step away, man, from making a tackle. And those are the type of things that are happening. So everything affects each other. And I would say that the tackling is just one of the bigger issues with the defense. I think the mentality and the aggressiveness and getting guys flying to the ball has improved. So just got to start, getting a hat on the ball and then having the boys come and be able to get guys down and not have any yards after contact.
Well, again, lots of issues, but 2 games still to correct those. I think they are going to come out today with the Mountain West tiebreaker scenarios, what needs to happen. It's crazy as it is. It's not, there's still 2 games left to play for, and we'll see what that ends up being, Winston. I want to kind of shift this forward to senior day in these last 2 games and how you do kind of try to finish strong here in just a second. But I do want to thank Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game, thespateam.com. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. So if you're looking for a sauna, a spa, pool table, they got you covered. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game. Hey, Lithia Ford of Boise, we appreciate them as well. LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view their full inventory of vehicles. They're taking care of athletes. They're taking care of, Cage Casey, Matt Lauder, Latrell Caples, coaches, administrators, Spencer Danielson, I think Jeremiah Dickey, like Lithia Ford of Boise. If you want to support somebody in the NIL game that is backing up their talk with a lot of money, both to Boise State and to the NIL side with vehicles and things, that's Jim Sturk and Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out online at lithiafordboise.com. Can say the same thing about Matt Bauscher. He stepped up in a big way. Number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, Matt Bauscher. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, it's a big game, Winston, when we're about ready for tip-off and Matt Bauscher sends me a text asking for the names of the referees because he's ready to get after him courtside there, and have some choice words for the officials. So I got that text right about tip-off ref names, and I said, Bauscher's ready to go tonight for the Wichita State game last night. So that's when it's a big game. Big, passionate Bronco, similar to you, Winston, did it on the court, now giving back, in other ways. And really appreciate Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Check them out online at BauscherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. They got 13 locations in the state of Idaho, surrounding states as well. Check them out, Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Download that Skip app. Get savings at the 40% off of the checkout line. Transportation Compliance Service. If you're looking for a new job, Transcomp Service has you covered. Transcompservice.com. They can help you get into the trucking industry, all the paperwork and things you need. Transportation Compliance Service online, transcompservice.com. It's a local company helping out folks all over the world. Transportation Compliance Service. And we want to hear from you. Leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox line. Speakpipe.com is where you go, /BNN, speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on an upcoming broadcast. And it's brought to you by Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, you can check them out online at mysignatureroofing.com. And one more quick reminder, tonight, 7:30. Typically, we're on Tuesdays. Had the basketball game last night. Typically, we're at 8. Tonight, we're at 7:30 with the Sanford and Johnny show after. So 2 live shows tonight on Bronco Nation News. Come meet Tyler Crow, 7:30. You can watch it on the BNN YouTube channel if you can't make it. Tyler Crow tonight with Riley and Rid, 7:30 will be the start time there from the James Kitchen and Bar out on the patio. And then following at 8:30, a subscriber-only show. You got to be a paid subscriber of BNN. Subscribe today, BroncoNationNews.com, and you'll get the exclusive link. We'll post it on the VIP message boards, and you can watch Sanford and Johnny Ball Talk tonight at 8:30 as well. Winston, like I said, there's tiebreakers, there's scenarios. I mean, the season's not over yet, but what's it like with 2 games to play? And I don't want to quite say you're playing out the strings, but I mean, it doesn't look great here for the championship. At this point, you're trying to finish above 500. You know, they've got that winning season streak going for a long. I mean, if you lose the last 2 and then a bowl game, all of a sudden you're 6-7 here. So they have not clinched a winning season yet. I mean, you're obviously wanting to win senior night on the blue for these seniors. What's kind of your take on just the last 2 games and such a deflating loss out there in San Diego, but still trying to finish this thing strong here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to win the games to get to the championship, but the game that these guys have ahead is the most important one, man. I mean, the last game on the blue for the seniors. So whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, championship game, obviously those goals matter, but the main goal is the task at hand that will help you get to it. And it's one of the biggest ones ever, man. I mean, you're talking about an opportunity to just go out the right way on the blue. And that means a lot. Guys will remember that stuff. I remember my last game on the blue against Utah State right after we had lost to Nevada. And it meant a lot. It's an emotional day, emotional night. Those guys will have a wave of emotion that will hit them at some point. Could be during the week, could be before a game day, but it's coming and it's real. And there wouldn't be a better way to finish your senior year with a W on the blue. And if you didn't get to the championship, and if you didn't get to the college football playoffs, hey man, you finished on the blue, and that's super important.
And you never lost on the blue.
Never lost on the blue, BJ. Oh, very passionate to be able to say that. Yeah, man, there's a couple of those type of things the guys my age get to say. So very prideful for that, right? I mean, it just goes back to some of those questions when you asked me as a former player and this and that. Like the Jeremiah Dickey one point, put out something on Twitter and said, like, what does the blue mean to you? And that's a pretty loaded question that I could do a speech on, write a letter on, but it means a lot to the guys that actually bled and put their sweat and their heart and their passion on it. And yeah, that was an interesting question that had me thinking for a while, because it's a very special place. And I don't care if you coached here, but if you never played here, I don't care if you've been here for 30 years as an administrator. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's a different and it's a unique experience when you put on the shoulder pads and when you play for the blue and the orange and play on that field. So it's a different level of love and relationship that players have with the blue.
Well, I guess final thing. I mean, so what do you expect on Saturday? All that said, senior day, wanting to go out for the seniors. I mean, as Surf City Bill points out, I mean, Boise State favored by like 16 points in this game. They're favored by more points than they've scored combined in the last 2 games. I mean, you have to expect, right, that they're going to – they talk about it all week. They heard the questions. Like, they're hearing the noise. Like, you got to expect they're going to let Max Cutforth throw a little bit more, even if the weather's better. That's a factor. And just they know, we heard this attack, got to attack more, we had chances to attack and didn't do it. Like I know they're going to be run first, but you have to expect they're going to try to throw the ball a little more in this game.
I think he can rip it, BJ.
Yeah.
I mean, Air Force, he came out there, he threw the ball a little bit. The times that he threw it at San Diego State, Fresno State, I kind of go back to it. The guy had dudes in his face. I mean, he could barely even get the ball off, right? So I think he's got the ability. He's got the ability to throw it. I do think the weather, man, that was a factor, and keeping it simple and great if they had the mentality of, hey, we're just going to pound this rock. And you guys were, man, it was like the media was hounding on Danielson about Dylan Riley getting 6 carries. Well, I know that he's not doing things for the media, that's for sure. But look, man, they freaking ran that ball, right? So, like, you know, yeah, man, let the kid air it out. I hope to see those guys having just a fun time running up the score, like multiple guys getting in the end zone, just some high energy defense playing well, packed stadium, just place rocking for the boys. That's what I'm hoping to see, man. And you know, obviously with a win at the end of that, but all those things are why you're winning and having fun, because you're just shredding a defense and you're rallying you're rallying to the ball as a defensive player. And dude, I mean, I'm excited to see those guys cut it loose and have fun with big old smiles on their face, man, walking off that field.
Well, hey, we asked about Dylan Riley, and he got some carries. We asked about Max Cutfort this week. So when he starts throwing it around, I guess we take the credit again.
There we go. Yeah, exactly, man. You know,
hey, there's zero chance of that, but I do think they realize. I mean, we're asking questions because we're watching the game, and they're obviously watching the game too. So I mean, I don't think it's they're asking it, but they already knew. They said Spencer Danielson was already shaking his head when some of the questions started. Like they know, and I guess that's the whole thing, is why it's taking till Sunday or Monday's press conference for them to see some of this stuff that other people are seeing in the second quarter.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I mean, it's just back to and that stuff that we don't know, what's being talked about on the headsets, what's being talked about, you know, on the sideline. What are they talking about in the what are they talking about in the locker room, and how are they adjusting? I mean, that is something where, like, from the running back spot, I've told you before, it's like, hey, like, George Holani needs 20 carries this game, you know, like, we're probably going to keep Tyler Crow at, you know, just these 2 packages, you know, and like, whatever it may be, Cyrus, right? So I had to deal with Cyrus and George and Tyler and Taquan. I mean, we had, you know, a stable of guys, right? Andrew Van Buren, right? So how are you balancing out these guys? But you always knew where they were at, you know, going into the game. So I don't think they would sugarcoat anything, but I don't think we don't know what their target is, because I've heard Danielson say, you know, we got to get more, but like, maybe they went into that game like, hey, 10 carries is good. And it just so happened that he landed at 6. And it's like, yeah, well, I mean, 10 was our goal, but we didn't have that many more possessions. Or, hey, 10 was our goal, and Sherrod popped off, so we left him in. And like, okay, so we don't really know that.
Sure.
So I give them these guys are good. They're smart dudes, man. They're good coaches. This ain't easy to coach at the Division I level, and it's a tough gig. These guys are all qualified to be there. I think, you know, I've got to go back a couple of my boys here, man. I do. There's less and less guys in that program that were a part of some of the history of Boise State. And sure, Nate Potter is learning and growing as an offensive coordinator. He's a first-year offensive coordinator. So, like, you can rip him and think that he should be fired, but, like, the dude's a first-year offensive coordinator. I feel like there was a couple weeks ago that people were talking about how he's put up 500 yards or X amount of points, and it's like, well, man, that just changes pretty quick on the weekly. So let him build a body of work. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, he's a great NFL coach one day, because he ended up being a great offensive coordinator. So Matt Miller, you know, like, the dude gets it. Dude knows how to coach, been around him. Like, just because something's not panning out on the field doesn't ultimately mean these guys aren't good coaches. You know, like, players got to take some responsibility too and elevate their game. But I can tell you this, you start losing a Matt Miller and a Nate Potter, yeah, the history of that program and what we're all about becomes foreign to this place, because there's only a few people, throw Dale Holste in there, that actually understand what it looks like and how it feels to go out there and accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. So coaching aside, guys like Matt Miller and Nate Potter are a freaking huge asset to this program. And it's not the former players. No, understand what former players do for this program because they've seen it. They felt it. They were around it. They know exactly what it takes to get to where everybody wants us to be. So lose those guys and good luck is all I'm saying. Those guys aren't the problem. And it's a time of year that they're going through some struggles, man. And I back those guys, back the head coach, back the athletic department. And, it's tough. It's a struggle, but that's my deal for today, BJ.
Yeah, and there was at one point, I remember there was like 7 or 8 assistant coaches were alums of Boise State, and now you're down to 3, I think. You got the only defensive one is Jabril Frazier, right? Coaching the
I mean, you got like Dimitri Washington and Jabril in there. So, didn't need to not throw those guys in there.
In terms of full-time coaches, though, it's not what it once was.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, and I just have read some stuff on Potter and Miller, and I'm like,
yeah,
what are you guys
no,
serious,
I think,
man?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It is definitely a change there, and it doesn't mean you're not a good coach if you're not from Boise State. But
guys don't this level, man. I'm sorry to interrupt, BJ. It's like the NFL. This is big-time college football. There are no favors. There's no favors in this world, right? Like you don't just get to be the coach at Boise State because you played at Boise State, because somebody wants to do you a favor and you're taking care of your alum. That's not how this thing works. If it's best for the program, guys won't be there. But if you're a coach, a position coach, you've done something in your resume, not your playing resume necessarily, but your coaching resume, or who you are as a person, or how you lead, how you impact guys. It's not all about the X's and O's. There's other reasons why guys are good coaches. But what I'm saying, man, is I see a lot of, former this, former that, as far as like they're not doing that as a favor. You don't hire guys as a favor. You hire them because you think they're qualified to get the job done. And the guys that we're talking about have great resumes and are elite coaches. So back those guys. I know I'm on my little rant with that there, but I'm fired up this Wednesday morning.
Well, we appreciate it. That's why we love you, Winston. We appreciate your passion and what you bring to the table, and great stuff and well said. And we'll have to discuss next week because I'm going to be with the basketball team at the Maui Invitational. So I'm hoping we can connect, but it'll be the day before Thanksgiving. We got to figure out the schedule next week. Maybe we'll switch it up to next week. We'll figure it out. But appreciate you as always, Winston. If we don't talk to you, hope you and the family have a great Thanksgiving. But we'll try to find something to sneak in after senior day and get set for the Utah State game. But always appreciate your time, man, and always enjoy your passion that you bring to the table, man.
Hey, BJ, thanks, man. I'm gonna enjoy this Wednesday. You too. And when is your birthday, BJ? Was it already passed or is it tomorrow?
I already had it, but tomorrow's a little get together.
Oh man, I missed it, man. Happy birthday, BJ.
You can tell me in person tomorrow, hopefully.
Great work. I know you turned 30, so you'd be good to go.
Yeah, I wish. You can tell me in person tomorrow, hopefully. We'll see.
There we go. All right,
thanks,
brother.
man. Appreciate you. Always appreciate Winston Venable for jumping on and his passion that he has for Boise State. Great stuff from Winston. Appreciate all you guys for watching the show today. Again, go check out BroncoNationNews.com. We got our 75% sale coming for Black Friday next week, but our message boards are popping right now with a lot of discussion football, a lot of discussion basketball. And again, 2 live shows tonight. Riley and Rid, 7:30 live at the James Kitchen and Bar. Tyler Crow is the special guest. And then 8:30, subscriber only Ball Talk with Johnny and Sanford. And that show will get the link posted in the VIP message board. So if you're a paying subscriber, go to the VIP message boards and you'll get the link to tonight's Sanford and Johnny Ball Talk show as well. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We're talking to a couple players today. Matt Lauder's on the list. We'll get those posted this afternoon to the YouTube channel, and we'll have plenty of coverage. You can go read Nathan Carroll's thoughts on the basketball game, and I'll leave you with our friend Jay Tust one more time on the way out here. Jay Tust, a tremendous job, and it was awesome stuff last night. We'll get you the full edit here shortly, but Jay Tust last night, like a Maserati, Boise State wins it over Wichita State. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow with Johnny Ballgame at 9 a.m.
The 3 from the corner misses, and it's finally Andrews that corrals it. A no-look pass to Meadow, like a Maserati, driving in, going beast mode, and 1 for Andrew Meadow.
15 occasions where they've had a double-digit
guy, in terms of their scoring efforts. They spread the wealth, and I tell you, it's been a spicy little biscuit the way they've been popping that thing around tonight, Angela.
Yeah, 12 assists on 18 field goals made. Coach Rice preaches, pass up a good shot in order to get your teammate a great shot, and that has been on display. And have so many players on this roster that have the ability to score.
A cornucopia of offense for Boise State this year. On any given night, it really feels